Yeah, there we go. The True Seeker here, Josh Rishu. We
Littlefoot.
got Littlefoot here. She's in the building.
Whoop, whoop.
We're broadcasting live. This June 27th, year of our Lord, 2020, broadcasting live from the New Orleans metropolitan area, also known as the Wagtown, Stanktown. What? Yes. Trying new camera angles. This feels a whole lot more comfortable. But it's been a couple weeks since we've been on. It's starting to get worse. Like at first, everybody thought that the coronavirus thing was going out, but what they didn't count on were these idiots who refused to wear masks, who refused to social distance. What's up?
It needs to be in front of you more, but that's okay. We'll mess with it later.
Yeah, it's okay. You
Idiots
talking
that
like
refuse
this?
to wear masks. Yeah, totally.
Okay, but yeah, they refuse to wear the mask. They refuse to social distance. They want to go out in public and just pretend like nothing is the matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
This is a problem.
They think quarantine was like a timeout. Like just because you did your time, like doesn't mean anything happened or it's safe.
Yeah, it's not safe. It is not. It's not okay to just open up business as usual and think we can go on about our daily lives.
And it could be relatively safe if everyone participated in the activities that have been proven by doctors and scientists, not any politician, of wearing a mask, which reduces the transmission of the particles that spread the shit. Oh, well, so are fucking 10,000 other people.
Yeah, so that's what makes it not a good fucking idea.
That you're gonna run into in the McDonald's bathroom and everywhere you go along the way because you're not driving from your house to the fucking beach and then coming home and staying with just your little fucking family of people that you've been with. No, you're seeing Carol and Bob and
We gotta go see Steve and the boys.
it's like
Yeah, just you
they're
gotta
the
go
same
home.
as they were 6 months ago, doing the same fucking retarded shit. I'm sorry, that's such a bad word, but
Yeah.
stay home. Like
Well-
you're not missing anything, not congregating with each other.
Yeah, that's what, and I always say that people there's mentally challenged, and then there's idiots.
No.
I really need to silence my phone.
Oh, me too.
Um,
We'll
but-
go to a commercial break.
There are no commercials.
Oh, well-
We're on YouTube, so therefore,
Oh.
if YouTube's not getting paid for the commercials, there ain't commercials happening on YouTube.
We'll just
They-
deal with the sounds then. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all. Just deal with it.
But we do have coronavirus on the rise. You have a president who refuses to acknowledge it. His whole voter base refuses to acknowledge it. They're holding rallies where they're not wearing masks, they're not socially distancing, they're crowding. It, like
A half a dozen of his staff are diagnosed with it the day it happened.
yeah, and I mean the stadiums are empty, but yet they're all like crowded on each other at the front by the stage, and it's just it's fucking crazy.
They downplayed that shit and you didn't really hear about it. That his staffers came down with it the day of the rally. 6 of them tested positive before
Yeah.
they let him into the building.
And there's been a lot of back and forth as far as whether this is a Democratic hoax or whether It's just, this is real and people need to take it seriously, which it is. It's real. There's nothing fake about this. There's not everybody's going to get it and then we're going to be okay, because people who are getting it are getting it again. So, therefore, you have no
It's not the Rona.
yeah, it's not this immunity thing that you think is going to happen. Like, you don't get antibodies and then you're never going to get it again,
Or
because
maybe some people do and some people don't, but no one knows yet.
yeah, there's no definitive science to really prove either way.
Yep.
But we do have cases where
Some people get it
people
again.
are getting it again. They're getting the coronavirus twice.
Or
2 times symptoms too. Like, it's not just like they're asymptomatic and they're carriers of the virus. Like, they are having symptoms, they are carriers of the virus, and
a lot of people that have it too say it's a tricky thing where like they'll have a week where they feel better and then the next week they'll feel worse and then they'll start to feel better and then they'll get different symptoms and get bad again. Like they say it's like it won't clear up and go away. The people that do get it, I've heard that experience too.
yeah, but I mean, and then the main argument that you're hearing about, oh well, the numbers. Just look at the numbers, because it's so easy to just look at the numbers and realize that it's not.
And by the
Oh
way,
no!
oh, you can't type? Click on the calculator.
What the hell? Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. That's
Technical difficulties?
yeah. We don't really need a calculator for this one, but um the other thing too is that, oh well, we need to open up the economy. That's the only way we're gonna save this country, is by opening the economy and sacrifice the working class so rich people can generate income for themselves and
that's the
possibly
economy.
people who are working for them, because that's the economy.
Okay. Yeah, I've
Um,
heard that argument. Yes.
Okay, so these are the facts. Before the shutdown, our country was in a recession. Before the shutdown. This is not an opinion. These are facts.
It started in January. You can go Google it.
It started in January, before the shutdown. The shutdown happened in March, in mid-March. Okay? So, the recession happened before the shutdown. Now you have this shutdown. Okay? Most places are only opened up at about 50%. You
Maximum.
have maximum. You have some places that are opened up at 75%. Okay?
What's open at 75%? I haven't heard of anything.
Like Florida and all that shit was like that's why you had these
okay.
rise in
Okay,
numbers.
all right.
That's why you had these rise in numbers because they started opening up more.
Okay.
Same thing with Texas. Same thing with Tennessee and Kentucky and all these other fucking places. Okay, so now we're opening up, but we're only opening up at 50%. Most of the places, which is what I said, and then in some places at 75%, okay? So even at 75%, where some places are, but even though the majority of the country is open up at 50%, that means 50%, for the majority, 50% of your workforce does not have an income and does not have a job. Mm-hmm. How are you going to revive an economy that was struggling before with as many people as you could have working, and now you're at 50% capacity, and you want everybody to go back to work and revive the economy? It doesn't work. The numbers aren't there. If you were able to actually do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, you would know this.
Also, 150,000 people have died and incurred medical costs and fucking are not spending in the economy.
Yeah, what's
anymore.
also happening is the free COVID test now. People are getting surprise bills. Because why? Trump is reversing the fucking funding for all the testing almost. It's all going back now onto the states, and the states can't afford it. Because why? Because the fucking federal government hasn't bailed them out from the first time. And they're refusing to do it because Trump is saying, "Oh, well, they should have managed their money better." And then, but that's what you have Trump saying that, and then you have idiots like Bill Cassidy, who's he has no idea who the person he supports actually says. He just fucking goes ahead and repeats shit like, "Well, we don't have any tax revenue being generated in the states. We need the federal government to help out in the states." Oh, well, that's true. I mean, I agree with you, Bill Cassidy, but if you look to your orange leader, Mango Hitler, he said it's the state's fault because they didn't manage their money better.
Which is
complete
hilarious
bullshit
coming from him. Oh,
well I mean, it's complete bullshit and hilarious coming from Don the Con.
Yeah, who's declared bankruptcy
four times, who's not allowed to operate charities in New York now because he fucking defrauded all these charities.
Who doesn't pay his workers or
employees, who hires illegal immigrants.
Has closed down like 3 casinos.
Who's closed down 3 casinos. How do you bankrupt a casino? All people do when they come to a casino is to spend money. That's all you do.
But before we get too far off track, the funny thing about Republicans still saying the thing is a hoax, and even though it's a hoax, you got to sign a waiver to get into Trump's rally and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Also, today Pence decided to cancel his little campaign trip to Florida or wherever the fuck he was supposed to go. You want to know why?
He's breaking ranks.
You want to know why?
Why?
Over coronavirus concerns.
Yep, he's breaking ranks.
Trump's probably gonna say he didn't know him soon.
Yeah. I have no idea who Pence is. Believe me, if I knew a Pence, I would know a Pence, but I don't know Pence, so I'm telling you right now that I don't know Pence.
But he sounds like a son of a bitch.
But he sounds like a bastard. Believe me, I know bastards. I am a bastard. My dad was a bastard. He was born of a bastard. A bastard of a bastard of a bastard. I know, but
yeah, it's just hilarious. Like, they tell their freaking followers and everything, like, it's fine to open the economy and it's great and it's safe and go to work and all this bullshit.
But here, sign this waiver before you come into my rally.
I'm staying the fuck home.
Yeah, sign this waiver before you come into the rally. And then also, do you mind putting on the mask, please? Please put on a mask. I'm not going to wear a mask. It makes me look like a douche. Look at all these douches out in the audience. Please put on a mask. Please put.
You look like a douche without the mask.
Yeah, you look like a douche without the mask.
You might look better with the mask. Cover up that asshole right in the middle of your face.
Oh God. Yeah.
God.
Yes.
Disgusts me.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. No, but and there's a lot of shit going on. I mean, there's still a whole lot of racial tension going on right now because I mean, cops are still just killing people in the middle of the fucking streets. They're shooting them with rubber bullets. They're shooting them with tear gas. And they're targeting reporters as well. It's not just protesters that the police are going after. It's I forget her name, but she's a reporter for a big time newspaper. I want to say like New York Times or something like that, and she lost her eye.
Jeez.
She lost her fucking eye in bright fluorescence, clearly marked with a camera in her fucking hands, and she said that she was deliberately targeted. So, I mean,
Linda Tirado.
yeah. Is it the New York Times? I can't remember what publication she. But I mean, she's a legit reporter.
Me sign in.
Yeah, she's a legit reporter. And there's multiple cases like this. I mean, go look on YouTube. There's all kinds of shit you could do. Like, I mean, I know. Oh, this is an article I want to talk about, but we're going to kind of come back to this in a second.
She's a freelance writer and author.
Oh, she is freelance?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there's this thing. See, it's called Google, okay? And if you go to Google, you could get on this thing from anywhere. It's like if you're on a computer, you have an Internet Explorer, something like that, you could just turn this on. You even have this on your phone. Like, your phone is basically a computer. I use my phone for all kinds of shit. Actually using it as a web camera for my computer right now. But you can use your phone for all kinds of fucking things. And usually, if you have, a cellular connection, no matter where you are on the globe, you have access to this thing that's called the internet. And you can access Google from any point. So at any point you feel like you want to say something or do something fucking stupid because, like, you think you know something, you could actually Google it.
Check it out on Google first.
And look it up and see,
Save yourself a shred of dignity. And if you're right, you get to be excited you were right. And if you're wrong, then you don't look like a big dum-dum. What are you typing?
See, like, whenever you want to say, like, oh, well, the Confederacy wasn't about slavery or anything like that. Articles of Secession, Confederacy. You just Google that. Look at this right here. Okay? The Declaration of Causes of Seceding States. You can't get past the second sentence without them talking about slaveholding Confederate states and the reference to the subject of African slavery. That's Georgia. Now, this is them saying why they want to go. We're not going to read all this. If you want to go read all this shit, you can. Mississippi, right here. In the momentous step which our state has taken of dissolving its connection with the government of which we so long formed a part, it is but just that we should declare the prominent reason which have induced our course. Our position is thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery, the greatest material of interest of the world.
It is not about slavery, though.
Its labor supplies the product which constitutes by far the largest and most important portions of commerce of the earth.
Oh no, they're still talking about how great slavery is.
Yeah, but it's not about slavery. The Confederacy was never about slavery. That was who was that again? Mississippi. That was Mississippi.
Just blatant. They get right to the point.
South Carolina. The people of the state of South Carolina in the convention assembled on the 26th day of April of AD 18 declared that frequent violations of the Constitution of the United States by the federal government and its encroachments upon the reserved rights of the states fully justified the state in withdrawing from the federal union, but in deference to the opinions and wishes of the other slaveholding states, she forbore at the time to exercise this right. Since that time, these encroachments have continued to increase, and further forbearance ceases to be a virtue.
They still haven't said, though, that the reason why they're joining is because of slavery. They're very long-winded.
But yeah, it took them,
it
took them all the way to the end of the second sentence, really, and then it was like it was like kind of like an underhanded
See,
reference.
The next paragraph says, now we're going to list the causes. So in the year 1765, the portion of the British Empire, blah, blah, blah.
Undertook to make laws governing a portion composed of 13 American colonies. Colonies that are free and independent states, and that is free and independent states have full power to levy war, concede peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things independent states may of right to do.
Okay, established commerce is them saying slavery.
Yeah, they further solemnly declare that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of the ends for which it was established, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. Does that mean that they just have to, like, go and post nice little notes on social media asking for change peacefully?
Well,
or
these motherfuckers were declaring war to keep their slaves.
Yeah, and institute a new government, deeming the government of Great Britain to have become destructive of these ends. They declared the colonies are absolved of these allegiance to the British Crown, that all political connections between them and the state of Great Britain is and are to be
Like,
totally
they're giving a whole
dissolved.
history. These motherfuckers
Yeah.
are so long-winded. And pursuant to the...
Yeah.
Yeah, they just keep using the colloquialism of commerce.
So sorry.
They got real lawyers writing their shit.
Yeah. The Constitution imposes
Now my eyes are crossing because you're going too fast.
Yeah.
Fugitives from justice and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, well, see, it took them forever to get to this point, but the Constitution of the United States in its 4th article provides as follows. No person held to service or labor in one state, under the laws thereof, escaping into another, shall in consequence of any law or regulation therein be discharged from their such service or labor, but shall be delivered up on claim of the party to whom such service or labor may be due. So it was strictly because of slaves escaping, getting to northern states, and not sending them back to the South where they were labor or it was due to whoever owned them.
Yep. Yeah,
This stipulation was so material to the compact that without it, the compact would have not been made. The greater number of the contracting parties held slaves, and they had previously evinced their estimate of value of such by a stipulation by making it a condition in the ordinance for the government of the territory ceded by Virginia, which now composes the states north of the Ohio River.
So they go on about slavery.
Yeah, they keep going on and on like
They're
long-winded
very
ways.
long-winded about slavery.
Yeah.
People of Texas, blah, blah, blah. Texas abandoned her separate national existence.
Truly, she was the Commonwealth wholly maintaining institution known as Negro slavery, the servitude of the African to white race within a... So we had to get into the third paragraph, like third or fourth sentence. Before, but again, remember,
It's not about
even
slavery.
though in their own words, everything about the seceding and everything like that is about them making money off of other people's labor that they're not paying them for,
Which was slaves.
which was slavery.
The agriculture economy that they keep talking about, the welfare and betterment of the economy is also slavery. That's what that means. Commerce is slavery.
Yep.
Oh, now we're on to Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia, they got all the way to the last sentence. The people of Virginia and their ratification of the Constitution of the United States adopted by them in convention on the 25th day of June in the year of our Lord 1788.
They love talking.
But yeah, BC, like, I speak proper, motherfucker. Having
yeah.
having declared that from powers
Good
granted
point.
under the said Constitution, that's how I usually introduce the podcast, man.
I know. I've actually heard it.
Oh,
you know?
have you? Have you been on the podcast before? Really?
Where am I?
Who is this?
What day is this?
Powers granted under the said Constitution were derived from the people of the United States and might be resumed whensoever the same should be perverted to their injury and oppression. And the federal government having perverted said powers, not only to the injury of the people of Virginia, but to the oppression of the southern slaveholding states. Now therefore, we the people of Virginia, do declare and ordain that an ordinance adopted by the people of the state of the convention on the 25th day of June, 88, whereby the Constitution of the United States of America was ratified and all acts of the General Assembly of this state ratifying or adopting amendments to the Constitution, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to go against the slave-holding states.
Yep.
They could have just been the southern states. They fucking self-identified themselves as the southern slave-holding states that the fucking North had a problem with, that they were about to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because we want to keep our slaves. Because we're the racist fucking South.
So,
And, yay, that's our ancestors.
yeah.
So you really need to learn from that bullshit. And stop denying it when you could simply read and see that all they fucking did was, like, talk about, defend, write laws, oppress, like, do everything around fucking keeping slavery in place.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of information that you could find up to support your arguments, but most of the times once you start reading and researching, you realize that you have no fucking information to back up your arguments, and you should probably just start shutting your fucking mouth.
And then when the South lost the war and Reconstruction occurred, guess who rebuilt the South?
The slaves.
Fucking black people. Yeah.
Because they were basically still fucking slaves. Because
Yeah.
what happened is that they created Jim Crow laws.
Because white people were still in power writing the laws.
Yeah, so they created Jim Crow laws, and then they just started arresting up black people for whatever fucking reason they could find up, and then they had their free labor again.
Well, back then they made it illegal to be black, basically.
Yeah. Well, you were walking on the
You're
wrong side of the
here
road.
and you're black.
You were literally walking on the wrong side of the road. Now I'm
be
going to
black.
take you into the fucking jail, and now you're going to work for the rest of your life free labor for the state.
Building statues that were
Building
later
statues of Confederate generals, and yeah, and installing street signs of Confederate generals on streets that, you know,
and
you're
building awesome transportation for the whole world to use.
yeah.
Prisoners built the fucking infrastructure in this country.
Um
And immigrants.
Yeah, so NASCAR's finally decided to ban the rebel flag at NASCAR events, thanks to Bubba Wallace. We had this whole incident where they found the noose in his garage this past weekend at Talladega. Found out that it was actually there since like 6 months ago, just nobody ever took it down.
Because it's NASCAR.
Because it's NASCAR, and it was the dude that was in there, he liked it, I guess, and hung it up. They actually have pictures of it. You could go find pictures, and it's like a legit noose hanging in the front of the fucking garage.
But because it didn't have a 2 tag on it, nobody's worried about it.
Yeah. But like, you know, I was reading through this article because I was talking to Littlefoot before the podcast, and I was pretty sure that like 20 years ago or so, NASCAR did this before and banned the Confederate flag, and then decided to let people have it there again, and now it's fucking gone again.
I read some shit though that NASCAR has also made like donations to LGBT causes and like trying to right all their wrongs. So how hilarious would that be if NASCAR becomes like the most progressive sport in the country?
Oh man, it's not showing that comment.
I don't know what you're talking about. What else are they doing? They're allowing their drivers and shit like that to like peacefully protest during the national anthem too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Uh,
And they've done all this just in response to like recent feedback, I guess, from people, which is crazy.
oh, yeah, fuck, it sucks. But I really wanted to find this quote from this person that they were, there's this guy,
There was this guy.
and he was complaining about how it's not the same anymore. And, like, there's no trucks out here to sell us shit.
Oh, here, I'll do it. I remember you reading it to me. Back in the day, when we used to come out here to this race, and I could just walk up and they'd have 11 trucks out here, and you could pick anything you wanted.
Now there's only 2 of them, but I don't even want anything out of it.
And what are you supposed to do when you come out here and can't even get what you want?
Can't buy shit. We literally have, and he was a 50-year-old man. Like, that's why I was trying to find this fucking quote, because it's like a 50-year-old fucking man bitching and complaining because he can't go out and buy a toy.
Which is really the Confederate flag, because I guess he's referencing they used to have like 9 trucks that sold Confederate flags, and now that it's been banned, they only have 2 trucks. So NASCAR doesn't even resemble what it used to be, and like I guess it used to be like a big shopping fair, and now it's like, oh, there's a souvenir truck.
Yeah, like I thought you were there to watch.
So he was throwing a temper tantrum in the quotes to the reporter, which is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that's what. I think you just want a fucking toy, and you're bitching and complaining because you can't get that fucking toy. Like, grow the fuck up. Be a man. You're 50 years fucking old. Do you really need fucking toys?
No, it's okay.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I mean, I like collectibles.
I see that.
I mean, yeah, if you're in the fucking dude room, like, yeah, there's like collectibles and shit all like this. But like, if I don't get a fucking collectible, like, I'm not gonna be like, whoa.
The dork did.
The dork did. Oh, what the fuck ever. Okay. But you sent this old fake news.
It's just a cheat sheet of Donald Trump's many scandals over his whole life. But, I mean, it's all made up because it's reported by the media, right?
Yeah.
It's just thousands and thousands of corroborating stories.
Yeah.
Sexual assault allegations, like we were just talking about, not paying workers, like defaulting on loans, being a creep of the pageants.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the list just goes on.
And with the beauty pageant shit,
and this is 2018.
And the beauty pageant shit with him talking about going into the fucking dressing rooms with these 15-year-old girls naked and shit like that. Like, he does that on Howard Stern. He's on Howard Stern talking about like how, and I could just do it because of who I am, and I just go in there because and all these girls are naked. The racial housing discrimination shit. Mafia ties. They think it's like the Russian mafia. The Trump University shit. Tenant intimidation. The 4 bankruptcies.
Not to mention how many shady deals were tied to all of that.
Undocumented Polish workers.
Immigrant workers?
Alleged marital rape. New York, 89. Ivana Trump. Breaking casino rules.
But he's such a good businessman. These are why his casinos went bankrupt, because they couldn't operate above board and fucking couldn't keep up with the number of fines that they got.
Yeah, and then that's what it says. It says the dirt. Trump has been repeatedly fined for breaking rules related to his operation of casinos. In 1990, with Trump Taj Mahal in trouble, Trump's father Fred strolled in and bought 700 chips worth a total of 3.5 million. The purchase helped the casino pay debt that was due, but because Fred Trump had no plans to gamble, the New Jersey Gaming Commission ruled that it was a loan that violated operating rules. Trump paid a $30,000 fine in the end. The loan didn't prevent the bankruptcy the following year. As noted above, New Jersey also fined Trump $200,000 for arranging to keep black employees away from mafioso Robert LeBuddy's gambling table. In 1991, the Casino Control Commission fined Trump's company another $450,000 for buying LeBuddy 9 luxury cars. And in 2000, Trump was fined $250,000 for breaking New York state law and lobbying to prevent an Indian casino from opening in the Catskills for fear it would compete against his Atlantic City casinos.
And those are just the things he was found and ruled against for related to this time in casinos.
Antitrust violations. Condo hotel shenanigans.
In Florida, Mexico, and New York.
Corey Lewandowski? I've never heard of this. Trump picked Corey Lewandowski to manage his campaign, despite relatively short resume for a long time that seemed to work well for both. Trump soared to lead in the GOP polls, but Lewandowski had hit a rough patch in early March. As Breitbart reporter Michelle Fields tried to ask Trump a question after a press conference, Lewandowski reached out and wrenched her out of the way. Ah, okay, I do remember this. Yeah. The prosecutor opted not to press charges. So probably the woman wanted to press charges and the prosecutor didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Suing journalist Tim O'Brien for libel. Trump's suit against O'Brien was tossed. More recently, O'Brien has mocked Trump's current claims about his net worth. Trump, meanwhile, has said on campaign trail and mind-blowingly in an interview with the Washington Post editorial board that he wants to make it easier to sue for libel. The Post combed through Trump's deposition in the case and found 30 instances where Trump admitted to having lied.
But people like him because he tells the truth.
Yeah. Refusing to pay workers and contractors.
1980s through present.
Yeah.
He still doesn't pay anyone.
Trump Institute.
They don't pay the cities they go to when all of the local police have to go out and risk their lives for this idiot to come to town. They never pay the city or the police departments.
Buying up his own books.
Mm-hmm.
Undocumented models.
One of them's his wife. I'm sure he got that worked out. And
The Trump Foundation.
on paper now.
The Cuban embargo. Yeah, because it's although the law prohibits American commercial involvement in Cuba, this has got to be an old article then, huh?
2018.
Oh, it's 2018?
Yep.
Oh, so this was before they opened it up again. Because Obama opened it up, then Trump closed it, and then Trump opened it back up again, huh?
I don't think he opened it back up.
No? But there's evidence to suggest that he's been active on the island for almost 2 decades. In 1998, as the Clinton administration loosened some restrictions, Trump scouted business opportunities and, according to documents viewed by Newsweek, spent $68,000 there, likely in violation of the law. More recently, Trump executives have traveled to Cuba in apparent scouting trips for Gulf resorts.
I just thought I'd share that because it's just funny that it's like compiled from like credible journalistic resources.
Yeah, 2017.
Oh, 2017. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure that's fake news. Like,
Yeah.
all those people probably got their stories wrong. And he's telling the truth.
Yeah, and Facebook is under a lot of heat. I mean, that's our Facebook page, facebook.com/Truth Seeker Podcast. But Facebook's in a lot of shit right now.
Rightfully so. They
Yeah, because
suck.
I mean they've put in charge of fact checking extreme right wing douchebags on Facebook.
Or extreme right wing robots, but yes.
Yeah, but it's a news agency that's owned by Tucker Carlson from Fox News.
Yeah.
His news agency is basically in charge of fact checking shit. So miraculously, some kind of way, liberal and left leaning news articles are highly scrutinized, whereas right wing conservative extremists, racial motivated and hate filled speech, nothing's done. I'm a big vocal supporter in trying to hold Facebook accountable, because time after time I have reported people who are literally using the N-word, using language like calling protesters animals and slaughtering the animals and stuff like that. Like they are literally putting hate-filled messages on Facebook that are completely and racially motivated. And Facebook does nothing. Facebook does nothing. But yet, I shared a picture that was obviously fake in a comedy thing of Trump endorsing Juul Lysol vapes.
Mm-hmm. He get it in his lungs?
Yeah, it's clearly a fucking joke. And they literally flagged my Facebook page as fake news. That's what they did to the Truth Seeker Podcast. And basically put me on probation. Because I posted a picture with Trump in a Lysol Juul.
Making fun of
the stupid shit that he said.
Maybe if the president
and I'm fake
say
news.
You need to inject Lysol into your lungs and that could get in there and do something. Maybe if he didn't say that, then we wouldn't have these memes. Maybe we need to go to the source of the problem instead of the people having a chuckle at the information that now exists because this fucking knucklehead said it.
Because I'm putting out a message that they don't want to be seen by the masses. So now they've got a way to flag me, and basically if they want to take me off of Facebook, they can now. It's bullshit. And big companies are starting to notice about this. They've all started pulling out their money. Coke was the biggest one to pull out. They're pulling out their advertising dollars, and they're hitting.
Ben & Jerry's.
Ben & Jerry's did it. But Ben & Jerry's they're on the front lines of everything. Like, it doesn't matter what we're talking about, what decade it is, and what progressive liberal movement is going on. Ben & Jerry's has been involved.
We just need to move to Vermont, where Ben & Jerry's and Bernie Sanders come from.
I mean, there's a reason why, that area is, the way it is. And it's because, like there probably is a sense of community. Like, people are helping each other out.
I bet they're wearing masks.
I bet you they're wearing masks. I bet you they're taking care of each other. I bet you they're not being little selfish, bitchy assholes going to a fucking restaurant and getting pissed off because you don't want to put on a mask or give your ID so they know who you are in case somebody in the restaurant is sick and they can stop the spread of more infections.
Because you couldn't stay home.
Because you couldn't stay home and you just had to go out because you're so tired of fucking staying home. Like, we were talking about this the other day, that it's so fucking funny because all anybody's doing right now is bitching about having to stay home and be so close to their families and shit like that. And like they want to get out and go do shit. And all on TV, all you're seeing is these RV commercials. Why in the fuck would you think you'd be selling an RV now? Like, if I don't want to be in the fucking house with you, I sure as fuck don't want to be in an RV with you.
Yeah. Let me go lock myself in a 40 by 10 foot metal box with you in the woods.
Yeah.
I won't end up burying you over the weekend.
1,200 square feet is not small enough. Let's try 400. Like,
If
what
you don't
the
love
fuck?
your family at home, you're not gonna love them in a camper.
No.
It's not gonna make it any better. And the river behind the campground is gonna seem real tempting when she won't shut up. So
Yeah.
don't do it.
And then, yeah, it's just going to be all hot and sweaty motherfuckers all outside. Like, I mean,
And another thing is, while we're on it, just like find something to do with your time. Like going out and eating at restaurants every day is not a real good hobby. Like that's just consumerism and making other people risk their life for your happiness.
yeah. You want to make the economy better? Look, I'm studying to do A+ hardware. You know? Because I'm at home now. Just trying to do
order
something.
a book.
Just
That'll
trying
make
to
the
do
economy
something.
better. Order a book on Amazon.
I mean, I already build computers.
Let
So-
restaurants close down and so you can stay the fuck home and order something through a drive-through or something if you can't cook for yourself. And let these people that are waiting on you in the middle of a fucking pandemic go home to their
Yeah.
families and be safe.
Yeah.
You're not going to save Buffalo Wild Wings by yourself, okay?
Yeah.
It's not worth anybody's life for y'all to be there.
There's no way we can open up at 50% and save the economy. The numbers are impossible. Because at 100% capacity, we were in a recession. So you're not saving the economy then.
So let's just
The
make
thing-
up some more money and give some of it to the people instead of corporations and
Exactly.
tell everyone to stay the fuck home.
Stay home. Let's kill this fucking virus because the way that we do it, and well, there's so many people here in the States. That's why we got so many people. That it's 300 million people. Oh yeah, India has 1.3 billion. They have like 20,000 fucking infections.
You know what? If you want
400
to
deaths.
stay home all day and pray for a fucking vaccine to be done. I don't care if you kneel on rice every day and pray till December 31st and hope that fucking Fauci can light a fire under someone's ass to get the vaccine done. Like, we either need a vaccine or everyone needs to stay home long enough for it to stop spreading among people. Because that's what it does. It spreads among people.
Look at India's public transportation system. The only way that they get anywhere is by standing on top of each other. That's the only way you're going to get to anywhere on time. Okay?
And that's literal, not a figurative.
That's literal, not figurative. Like, literally, they got to stand on top of each other because there's 1.3 billion fucking people in a country. Okay? So, if they could cut their numbers down like that, it's because they're not going out. It's because they're shut down. It's because they're staying home. It's probably because if they are going out, they're wearing fucking masks. You don't see these infection spikes at Black Lives Matter rallies. It's not happening. Why is that? Oh, they're wearing fucking masks.
And they're outside and they're social distancing.
And they're outside and they're social distancing. You had 2 hairdressers in Missouri that were sick with COVID-19 and they were cutting hundreds of people's hairs.
Yeah, they hundreds of people's hairs is it? Yes, they exposed 140.
They didn't get
customers.
anybody sick. Why was that? Because they actually put on masks and social distanced. Time and time again, when we put the situation into motion, if people put on masks and social distance, you don't get the fucking infection. But what we have is a whole gigantic group of fucking people who refuse to put on masks, who refuse to acknowledge that COVID-19 is a legit threat, who refuse to social distance, who refuse to not acknowledge that they can't go on with their regular everyday fucking lives. You're prolonging this. You're making this worse. You are the problem. There's a lot of you. And there's a lot of you who want to say that you're smart and you're intelligent and you have ideas. Well, you know what else has ideas? Everything. Everything has ideas. Just because you have an idea doesn't make it a fucking good one. There has to be reason and logic to make your idea good. If you don't have those types of things to back up your fucking idea, you're just an asshole with a fucking idea. That's it. There's no thought. There's no preparation. There's no intellect there. There's no thought process. There's no education. And this is simple shit. Like, this shit ain't fucking hard. It's just every other country in this world is doing something differently than what we're doing. And we're the only one that's having the result that we're having, and we're still trying to blame COVID-19. And we're blaming libtards. And we're blaming masks. And we're blaming social distancing.
The things that would actually save
The things that would actually save you if you weren't so fucking stupid. I suggest if you're going to have events, you better start getting waivers and having people sign them before they go into your shit. Because if they go to your shit and they get sick with COVID-19 and incur medical bills and costs and stuff like that because Trump is starting to roll back his promises of nobody paying medical bills for COVID-19, be prepared to be sued. It's going to happen. Like, you see those fucking commercials for mesothelioma?
Did you go out during phase 2 of lockdown?
Did you go out during phase 2? Did you get COVID-19? Did the bartender say, sure, don't wear a mask. Drink up, buddy. Here's a hooker.
I think bars and restaurants and places that are open want fucking people to wear masks.
Do you want to do cocaine off of a toilet seat?
It's the idiot customers that, like, refuse and want to go out to, like, show everybody how free they are. Like, nobody wants to argue with your dumb ass. Like, it's not about what you think and what you feel and who your grandpa fought for and your respect that you have for the military and the American flag. Like, it's not about any of that. Like, the people are there because y'all fucking bitched and cried enough that the economy had to reopen, that these people are now back at work exposing themselves. So if you really want to go, you really just need to be a little rule follower and fucking put the mask on when you're walking around the restaurant and come in and out. And I think it's stupid to even go to a restaurant and sit there and be exposed and expose other people for the purpose of spending more on food.
Yeah, but the thing that's really pissing me off is the freedom shit. We're free. I'm free. Free. Oh, really? You're fucking free? Okay. Name one thing that you can do or buy or have that you don't have to buy, don't have to pay a fucking license for, and don't have to pay some type of fee to take possession of. I'll wait.
I'm not going to sing the whole song. Oh, yeah.
Just a few moments of silence. Because I want to wait. I want to wait and tell me something that you can do in this country that's free.
Hiking. Not if you get caught by a park ranger. No.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to pay to get into some state parks.
Yep, you got to pay to get into a park.
You might look suspicious if you're just hiking down a street or walking by yourself.
Yep.
Especially if you're black. Do not go hiking if you're black. Good God.
Yep, especially if a white person sees you.
Squirrels or something. I don't know what they would think, but God knows you would look suspicious walking.
Yeah,
I don't know. My only guess would be hiking.
I'm sick of the fucking the conservative and the fucking Democrat bullshit. If you're continuing to support these political parties, you are the fucking problem.
Well, and that's the thing. The mask issue is not a political issue. It's a science issue.
Yeah.
Health and science, not political. They were different classes.
No.
Thank God, for a reason.
Yeah, people are literally in the streets because they're fucking being killed and murdered indiscriminately. There's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. It's not just because, like, oh, they just need to be polite and move on. Like, they tried kneeling. They've tried being nice. I mean, you could go back and look at the civil rights day. I mean, Martin Luther King. Those people weren't violent. But yet, they released dogs on him, shot him with hoses, you know,
And I mean,
killed people.
The protests are going on now, and you still have, like, every day since they started, like, there'll be a cop video released of, like,
Of another fucking shooting.
another shooting or another fucked up apprehension of somebody doing nothing.
Yep.
Sitting at a park waiting for somebody. What the fuck are you doing wrong if you're sitting at a park waiting for somebody?
Anybody who continues to condone what's going on right now in America, you're an evil fucking person. Just being honest. I really doubt there's anything good in you. Because there's no way you can be a decent person seeing what's happening to fellow human beings and fellow citizens of this country and be okay with what's happening.
And not only be okay with it, but then defend the
Defend
motherfuckers
it.
that are doing it to him.
Yeah,
Being
then
like,
defend it.
Oh, well, what did he do? Or he was a drug dealer, or well, he ran. Like, oh, the fuck? Well, these people are supposed to be trained professionals to deal with people on their worst day. If you're dealing with the cops, you're not having a good day. So they need to be prepared for the most fucked up of situations that they're about to roll into, and not be so scared that they're gonna fucking shit themselves with fear and just shoot somebody because they, like, can't even think straight.
Yeah. It's just...
I don't want to fucking hear it. If that's your reaction, you need to get a job at Baskin Robbins scooping ice cream. Something a little more chill for you to fucking deal with. Because you don't need to be carrying a gun and have
Nope.
people's life in your fucking hands.
Male people are attacked by dogs on a daily basis.
Do they go around shooting dogs?
They don't go around shooting fucking dogs. Because why? Because they don't have a fucking gun. They're not allowed to. We literally have a group of people who they literally try to hire the dumbest people they can hire. Mm-hmm. If you score high in the IQ test, you're likely to not become a cop. Because they don't want people who are available of critical thinking. That they don't like that. And less than 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 6 months of training. You have longer school to cut hair than to be a police officer.
For almost anything than to be a police officer.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's going to be shorter
Any
is
profession.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to be short is the A+ certification. As long as
The
that do
police
good.
academy's like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That shit's short.
Well, no, I mean, yeah,
Not
it's going to be like
enough.
3 months or so.
And not only is the training not long enough, it needs to be like a 2-year police academy, and they need like rigorous mental evaluation.
What needs to happen is if you want to be a police officer, we need to change the standards for being a police officer.
Yep.
We need to change the standards. We need to change the pay. And if we do that, I think, not only would we have better police departments, but we would need fewer police officers because we'd have better situations going on in our streets because you'd have better people policing the populace. My idea is you raise the police pay to $100,000. It's a hard job.
And
You're risking your life.
Yep.
You are risking your life. $100,000. That's good.
That's
You can
for
live
sure.
comfortable.
Yep.
You can take care of your family. You can work and do good. You're not going to have to do details. Because that's the situation that we have now. Whereas these people are becoming police officers, they're only making like barely in the low 30s, $32,000, $34,000 a year. And so to make any type of decent money where they're making $40,000 to $50,000 a year or so, they have to do details. So
They're tired.
they're tired, they're overworked, and they're stressed. I'll agree. I'll agree to those points.
And they're only taking all those jobs because they have families.
They have families. They have bills. They have,
I think it should be like a priest. You can't be a cop if you got kids. That's too much fucking pressure on somebody.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I feared for my life. I'm sure you did, motherfucker.
I don't think we
Who's
should
gonna
give people football contracts with kids. That's how fuck I am.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it is a horrible, dangerous job. Like, that should be highly considered for the person that's put in the job.
Yeah, we're paying you $1 million fucking dollars to play a fucking game. I don't care if you want a fucking life. Right now, you focus on this. You win me a fucking championship, then go have fucking babies.
That's funny.
You motherfucker. You want a fucking $1 million? I want a Super Bowl ring. Go get me a
Anyway.
Super Bowl ring. But
It's not a sports podcast.
yeah,
Thank
but
God.
but anyways, shit. Got off on a tangent now. Forgot what we were talking about.
You done fucked me all up. I don't know.
Yeah. Shit. But it's just it's a whole fucked up situation. Oh yeah, the police. Okay, so $100,000 because it's a hard job. But then you want to know what's the requirement to be a police officer? Psychology bachelor's degree. Get a bachelor's in psychology. You're gonna need to know how to talk to people. You're gonna need to know how to not be a fucking asshole and realize that everything's not about fucking you.
Right,
Nobody made you become a cop.
You're going to need to be able to identify and understand when people are going through mental anguish and distress and probably the worst moment of their life on a very bad day in their life.
Yeah. I understand that you're always dealing with everybody's bad situations and stuff like that. But realize that you're wanting people who never experienced that type of situation to handle it better than you.
And might come from the most fucked up worst situation that you can't even fathom what they've been through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they might be having a fucking nervous breakdown on something that you've never seen and can't imagine ever being in because of your fucking socioeconomic background prevents you from understanding that.
Additionally, people can be on drugs. They can be hearing impaired. Like, you would think you would have some level of interacting with another human being that allows you to assess their nature before you indiscriminately start shooting at motherfuckers because you fear for your own
life.
safety.
Yeah.
That sounds like a you problem, so I think you need to work on you.
Nobody made you become a cop. You chose to be a cop. You understood the dangers when you became a cop.
You probably thought it was fucking cool that you'd get to carry a gun and be a big tough guy.
Nobody is forcing you to stay a cop. If I have a job and I don't like it, guess what I do? I do something else. If I'm too stressed out at it and I can't fucking handle it, guess what happens?
You shoot people?
No, I do
Aw.
something else.
Just shoot the customer next time. Say you feared for your life.
But they only coughed. Yeah, but there's COVID-19. I told them to put on a mask. He coughed. I told him. I told him. I feared for my life. I shot him in the face with the fucking shotgun.
I shouted, put on a mask. Stay 6 feet away, motherfucker.
I told him, shut that fucking dog up. I heard the dog cough too. No, I wouldn't shoot dog.
Bumble clock.
But, I've made some bold predictions for the podcast, and I'm gonna make another bold prediction. Right now, we're currently at 150,000 deaths. If we continue the opening and we continue seeing the ICU beds get into capacity, I say definitely by March, which would be a year, we could start seeing upwards of 500,000 deaths or more. This is going to happen.
In the United States.
In the United States, not
Greatest
worldwide.
healthcare in the world.
In the United States. People you know are going to die. People you know are going to get sick.
He's
And the
taking
only
care of
reason
them.
why it's going to get worse is because we have leadership and a mass populace who refuses to acknowledge science and fact. You ignore facts on every other fucking argument that you have. Political, moral,
Right.
religious.
This one's gonna bite you in the butt.
This one's going to fuck you. Everybody that you know is going to be affected. I hope you make good memories with those people that you love. Because if it keeps going away, that I'm pretty sure it's going to go, some of those people aren't going to be there. I hope I'm wrong. But usually I'm right. So, take care of each other. Definitely try to seek out community. Don't go out into bad situations. Stay home. If your job doesn't want to do the right thing, guess what? Stop going to your fucking job. Your family is more important.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. If you do those types of things, wearing a mask and social distancing, you might be able to make them hate you like Jesus. See you guys later. Y'all have a good one.